this is just familiarity, basic understanding, a quick run through. So when you launch Adobe Bridge, it opens in the Essentials workspace. Just like all the other Adobe applications, Bridge has a variety of different workspaces. Important to remember, one, that you can edit a workspace and change things. You can also reset to save layout if you move some things around and you want them back the way they were. Also, you can set up a workspace the way you want to and name it the way you want to and always use that. So very, very customizable so that you can do what you need to do to work efficiently. One of the best uses of Adobe Bridge is to use it for grading. I like the film strip workspace for that. I've got pictures across here, and I have unchecked this use command key, which allows me to just hit the number to grade the photos, and it is easily toggled. So I've already graded these, and I've got them set so that when I grade them, when I regrade them, it doesn't save over the rating I gave it. So it won't work to regrade them, but for the initial grade. But the nice thing is you can set your right hand over on the arrow keys, your left hand up on the number keys, and you can just quickly go through and assign a number to each one. And when you go over to filter, you can focus on just those specific photos. So it allows you to do whatever you need to do to pull up what you need. So there you go. I have just the 4s. I've only got 2 in that category. So they'll work for the next thing I need to show, which is metadata. Well, I can do metadata next. So you click on metadata, and one of the important things to do, I think, is to create a basic metadata template, which just contains things like your name under creator, job title. You can put whatever you need to in here, description of who you are, what that is. You could even put a website in here, an email address, if you want people to be able to get a hold of you when they find your work. So change that to copyrighted. So that way, whenever they access your work, they can see how to get a hold of you and understand that that's a copyrighted work, which you should always do, because at the very least, people should ask permission to reuse your work. Now we're going to move into the powerhouse of Adobe Bridge, which is the workflow process. The workflow process allows you to automate all of those tasks which are complicated and tedious, that you can just get set up and have it do all of your copying, moving, renaming, resizing, saving in alternate formats, appending metadata, all the stuff that you don't want to sit there and click through. You can just set a workflow, click it, and Bridge will keep working on in the background while you're doing more productive, or at least more entertaining things. When we do, first of all, note that I'm filtered here down to just these 2. So when I slide over the workflow tab, I'm just working with these 2 right now, which will allow me later to select just those 2 and run them through a workflow as an example. I'm going to use custom workflow. I like to use it because I can always do nothing with one of these. I can make no changes to it and have it do some simple default stuff. Create new workflow. I guess I'll demo it. As soon as I click it, it has a new workflow here that is custom. You see there's no tasks. There are no tasks in here. So when I have to add them manually, but I get to choose which ones I add. Maybe I don't want a batch rename. I just want to change format or resize or apply metadata. I want to make a simple workflow. We're going to start with custom workflow. And right away I'm going to rename it And I'm going to name it demo because that's what its forebears were. So, all right, batch rename, step 1. That's my first step. It's going to save them. And I don't want in the original file location, so I'm going to click the drop-down menu here and choose specific folder. And then I'm going to get to Browse. And I will be able to go into my desktop, in class demo, in Bridge, and I'm going to go ahead and put them in this demo 2 folder. I'm going to choose that. And then I'm going to save again. Okay. So it'll create a new subfolder called workflow in there to put the work in. All right, change format. This is where I can switch them to a more appropriate format. JPEG is relatively universal. Let me resize this panel a little. Tweaked it earlier to do something. And cut off an edge. That's where Reset Workspace would have automatically fixed that for me. JPEG, universal. PNG for web graphics. TIFF for print. So I'll go ahead and make this PNG. Save transparency. That's one of the advantages of PNG. So that's what I would do. Okay. Note that I keep bouncing back to saving workflow. We get down here to task details. So in order to create a new workflow, it's a little, you have to click save, and it'll pop it up, and you just type a new name in there, which is also going to be demo. Okay. And then you click save. Oh, sorry, I guess I already did. I'll replace it. In a top to bottom workflow, I'll close these as I complete them. Just less visual clutter for me. The top to bottom workflow, you save this now. I sometimes forget to go back up. It will try to warn me, but it doesn't always work. So I'm going to delete a couple of these rows because I really only want 2. I'm going to change this one to say text, and I'm going to have it put the word demo in there. And then I'm going to append a sequence number up to 4 digits starting with 1. So it's going to start with the word demo. It's going to be demo 1, demo 2. That's what my things are going to be. And I remembered this time. It's going to ask me if I want to replace. Of course I do. So that's one of the bigger ones. We did change format, PNG, okay, resize. Depending on what you're doing, if you're working for the web, I think it's nice to know the dimensions you need and use the long edge. If you're going to print, it's good to switch to inches so you know how many inches it is, and you can resize it to that. So it gives you both options there. So I will prep these guys to be 8 by 10s. So, and I'll keep my resolution 300 because it's print quality. Okay. And then apply metadata. These are photos I created personally, so I'm going to use the metadata tempo that is me. And now I'm going to save this process. So there it is, demo. Now I can go to where my two pictures have been filtered out, and I can click them and I can drag them onto the demo. And you see it creates a workflow there. And I can pile up workflows and click Start Workflows. Earlier, I got a glitch, which I am still researching. So when I click this, it may happen again. Yeah, I'm getting a glitch, which is the same one, destination cannot write. So I've got to go through and get that one figured out.